Hey everybody, today I am joined with Bret and Lindsey and so excited to do a Q&A. So we're going to jump right in. We got a couple questions from the cutie community that you guys asked, and so we're going to toss a few their way. And whatever we don't cover today, we will cover on a future episode of Q&A. So Bret and Lindsey, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. So one of the first questions was, how do you actually come up with your LE colors?
Go ahead, do first.
We have a twister wheel. Spin it. You land on the month, you land on the color, there you go.
You got it. Just takes it all out, all the pressure off of Lindsey.
Everybody thinks it's a long, drawn-out process, but really, no. It's Lindsey's favorites.
Yeah, I just we take guidance from the cutie community. A lot of times it's just me, what do I like and what have we not done yet? But it is a long process of picking a Pantone to then getting a sample made and get it in. A lot of times it doesn't work out. So I've learned through the years, how a color is going to change once it's made into a cutie pad or beads. So it is kind of hard, but I think we take a lot of guidance from the cutie community, but also from our moderators and our makers, and also pray about it. I pray. Most people know I pray about everything. Yeah. And colors is one of them because that's a big part of our business. But
sure.
I personally like a lot of the softer colors. I'm more of a neutral soft, so I tend to go to more, like if it's a green, I like a softer green. Yeah. Creamier.
And the hardest part is probably picking the shade.
Yeah.
You pick.
I remember seeing.
You want a light blue,
yes.
Picking that exact hue.
Yeah.
is probably the hardest part.
Yeah. But is it a process that you enjoy? Oh,
I love it. Last week we ordered 40 samples, and it was a stressful week, but it's fun. It's a fun part of it. But it's a lot of work. It's, have all these samples or whatever, but it's like, okay, I like this color, and then I have to go back, okay, what do we already have samples of? And I'm like, oh, that looks just like that other sample I got made that didn't work out. Or so try not to repeat stuff. Yeah. Or like I had a color I liked, and I was like, oh, that looks like just like fresh mint. Okay, so just try not to replicate.
No, it was easier in the beginning because everything was new. But now that we've got almost a year's worth of colors, you have to go back and look at what's been done and make sure it's different.
It is fun though.
Yeah,
I enjoy it
for sure. I know one that a lot of people are wondering is a new product. So, are you guys considering making sippy cups in the future?
And
if you can share that,
yeah, you go first.
We tried, but like Lindsey says, if we don't love it, we don't go forward with it. So.
That's one thing with this brand is I told myself in the very beginning, I'm not going to sell something that I don't believe in 100%. I just don't want to put something out there just to put my name on it because we built this brand quality. Yeah. And so we've been down the road of bibs. We've been down the road of sippy cups. We've been down the road of snack containers. And I'm talking about we've paid for molds and we've had samples made, and it's just like, it's not there yet. And I'm not going to sell anything that's not way better than something that's already on the market. So I'm glad that we can say that.
Still something that's being considered, or just it's totally off the
Not
table?
at the moment.
Yeah.
Just not right now. We kind of put it on hold and then kind of reach back a little bit later. We have a few things up our sleeves right now, but we can't share yet.
Never say never, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not on the books.
There's some great sippy cups. Well, actually, I don't know. They could use some improvements, but the ones that I was like, what's not better than anything out there. So I don't know. Never say never.
Just not now.
Just not now.
Yeah. How do you separate? And this one's tough, just because obviously the business is in your home right now. It started in your home, and it's currently just operating big time from your home. So how do you separate in any way your business and personal life? And is there any separation there?
Very little. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think she does a good job of, turning her phone off, at a certain time and saying this is family time. Yeah. But it's definitely hard it's always here.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning when I was teaching and doing Ryan and Rose same time, it was hard because when I was at work teaching and then I'd come home and it's like, okay, family or Ryan and Rose, and I'd stay up, I'd spend time with Ryan and Rose, but then I'd stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock doing clips or whatever, and then go to school and work the next day.
Yeah. 2 jobs.
Yeah, 2 jobs. And I think now I do a better job, and I don't know if it's just maturity or just experience, but just like, okay, 5 o'clock I'm downstairs. Yeah. and I stayed downstairs.
Yeah. And it helps. We have a team now.
Yeah.
Because, we
Oh
were
my
looking
gosh.
back at those posts from, was it 13 or 14? And she was like, Tuesday is a shipping night. So if you've ordered, I'm going to ship. But that's because the other night she was making everything.
Yeah.
So that back then was definitely harder.
It's changed. But yes, our team, we have such a good team, and it makes it where I can disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say disconnect, but do I really ever disconnect? I don't know. It's hard because...
I mean, because like we said, there's new products to consider, new colors to consider. Marketing is obviously a major part of what you do.
I don't think her mind ever shuts off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a problem sleeping. Lately I've had a hard time because like there's always something. Well, I need to contact that person, or I need to call Alexa, or I need to talk to Judy because I talk to Judy at night and in the morning because we're on
schedule. Yeah.
different schedules. So it's, I don't know. I wouldn't change it. I love it, but it is hard to separate family. And one thing I've done is, okay, so we might be on the playground or we might be outside with Ryan, and I might be on my phone answering emails or texting people back, answering questions. But she has a rule now. Okay, whenever you want to tell mommy to get off her phone, all you have to do is ask. Just ask me nicely.
Yeah.
But if she asks, I will do it. And so that's kind of like a mutual respect to let her know I'm always here for you. Just ask.
Yeah.
And it kind of was like, oh, it reminds me. Oh, I gotta let's spend time with the girls.
Be
So
present in the moment.
yeah, but I think especially now that he's home and helping and such a big part of the business, it makes it a lot easier to have that family time. And like we ride every night, and we do that as a family, and we enjoy it. So
Like it ends at this time, we're
Yeah.
together, so it ends here.
Yeah.
Family time. Yeah.
yeah, so
Awesome. It's kind of good to go down a more personal road. What are your love languages, and how are those expressed? How do those come out in your marriage?
I thought this would be hard, but it's actually, hers is easy. It's like cleaning and chores. I mean, if I bust out the vacuum,
he's sexy.
Yeah.
it's done. Straighten up, clean up the kitchen.
So
Yeah.
working it out, working the love out. Like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
No.
I like somebody like taking out the trash. There's not anything sexier, I don't think.
My job's easy.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
is good, 'cause,
definitely
men like to do that kind of stuff. And-
yeah. I'm definitely actions. He's definitely touch. So
Yeah.
and it's crazy because they're so different.
Yeah.
But just I think it's so important for husbands and wives to know their love language and know the opposite person's love language. So
I didn't even know what a love language was 6 months ago, but
yeah.
she told me.
And how has telling you and noticing that and understanding that, how has that just maybe changed the dynamic of your marriage? Just being more aware of those kind of things.
I think just knowing the other person's needs, you
Yeah.
know, like sometimes life is so busy, but it's like, okay, I need to slow down and cuddle, or I need, just making sure you do that for that other person.
For sure. If you guys could go back 10 years, maybe even 5 years, but if you go back 10 years, didn't know this was going to happen, didn't know Ryan Rose was going to exist, the business, what advice would you give yourself? Knowing what you know now, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
You go first.
I don't know. That's really hard. I'd probably say just wait. Look,
I would definitely say patience.
yeah, I think maybe like something in prayer, like keep your heart in it. Just keep praying. Like start now. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe even trust the Lord. Like trust Him 100%. Because even when I went from teaching to doing Ryan and Rose, there was still that time in there where not that I had doubt, but I was still not willing to give 110% to Ryan and Rose. So maybe trust the Lord, trust your heart, follow your heart, and He has great things.
Did you ever experience a time in the early days? I mean, I'm sure you probably did, but was there ever kind of like this dip where I'm not sure if it's really going to work out, and did you experience any kind of issues through a time like that, or was it always just kind of steady growth and then pretty explosive?
It was steady growth throughout the years, but there was times where it was like, when are we going to see the fruits of all this labor?
Yeah.
We were selling, but we weren't paying ourselves.
Yeah.
What did we say? We finally started paying ourselves. Year 4 or year 3?
Like 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 years.
So
So we're doing great, but it's everything we got, we put right back in the business.
Yeah.
So I think that was the hard part. For me teaching, I had a steady income. I had I carried our insurance, and just going from that to very little. And I remember we had somebody who actually worked for us, Keela, and when I quit teaching, it was like, okay, I can either pay myself or I can pay you. So we had to let her go. And it was kind of like, it was just that, I don't know.
Tough.
Yeah.
Super tough.
But it's part of growing, and I think it made us stronger to where we are today. But a lot of people see us now and they're like, look how successful they are. And it's like, this took a long time,
they didn't see the journey.
Yeah, just the journey, and like, this is year 6, and just patience, have patience, trust the Lord. Yeah. He's got you,
How hard was it to, like you said, to go be a teacher, and you guys aren't realizing the fruits? Like, in our culture, I know just naturally we want to see immediate gratification.
Right.
So how hard was it maybe like year 2 and you're teaching and you're not paying yourself yet and you're still working late hours?
Right.
Like, what's going through your mind? And is that putting stress on you guys and your family?
I think for us, the great thing is we never, like we said this all the time, like Ryan and Rose was never our income, right? Would you say that? Like, we weren't depending, like some people start businesses and their whole lives depend on this. Like this, for us, it was kind of a hobby where I was still teaching, he was still doing heating and air. So like we were bringing home money.
Yeah.
So
all the bases were covered.
Yeah, all the bases were covered. So I feel like we're blessed in that.
It was a good thing. It took a long time to get to that point.
So it's good. Yeah, it's good to realize the fruits now.
Yeah.
And things are really
patience. It takes time, and just and a lot of people would be surprised how long it takes, but then building it, and so because even we were talking about even this time last year, like the employees, what we had like maybe 3, like so it's just it's grown so much.
Yeah, for sure. Taking a different turn, a lot of people were interested in knowing how long do you guys sit and laugh about people trying to find these codes?
All night long.
All night, yeah. I love it. He's the creative one. Like, this is all him.
Really?
The codes and the games. And we love Big Brother. So, like, we're a big Brother family. So, this is... A few months ago, we started doing cutie challenges, and we were kind of the first to do that. And so, that's kind of where it started. And then just the games and...
So, Brett's the
we joke about
the
members of the cutie community that will, like... freeze frame a story and zoom in on it, and they're looking for LE colors or what have you. And I said, well, we can put some codes in there. I mean, if they're going to be that hardcore detective, we can put those in there and utilize it for a game. And then it kind of morphed into that. But I think they've enjoyed it. Yeah,
I mean, we love the cutie community. Like, we are grateful for them. Like the mamas and daddies in there, like.
But we do read them, all the comments. And
well, even last night we did you did the crossword puzzle, and they're like, what? And all the memes and gifs, and it's just a lot of fun. And we don't mean it to be stressful.
They always amaze me. Like, we make them extra hard because there's so many people doing it. They figure it out. And like last night we did a crossword puzzle with no hints.
None.
And they figured it out within 30 minutes. I mean...
Yeah, you got to make it hard.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they're like, why'd you make it so hard? I'm like, because 20,000 people, you don't want it to be like so easy. Yeah. But it's been a lot of fun. We're grateful for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes us laugh.
Yeah, for sure.
Another one was, would you guys consider in the future, like, I know it's pretty popular these days to do monthly subscriptions. So is that something you guys have considered?
So you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
I personally never been a subscription person.
Yeah. Me either.
I just don't like them. Like I don't know, and I feel like us too, we're a small window for babies, like 2 years. And so I feel like as soon as they sign up, they'd want to, I don't know. I just feel like
we're
it's
not against it, but I know, me personally, I don't like subscriptions either. I feel like as soon as I sign up, I'm ready to. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to cancel
Yeah.
Like if you want something, you'll buy it.
Yeah.
We are looking into maybe a rewards program.
Yeah. But I'm not.
Hint.
Yeah. We're coming. Yeah. We're trying.
Don't miss that. Yeah.
Yeah, but subscription's never been really, and that's like something for me. Like I pray about everything.
Yeah.
And I know subscriptions in my prayer journal somewhere. But I know like even that. But like I don't allow pop-ups on our website. Because I don't like pop-ups. So, like, I try to think, okay, what do I like, what do I don't like, and try to put it into the business. So that's kind of what we do. Yeah.
There's a lot of thought behind everything that goes in.
Yes.
From top to bottom. Yeah.
Every aspect.
For sure. What's one piece of advice that you would give to other entrepreneurs out there? especially those who are starting out?
You?
I mean, it kind of goes back to what we said, but definitely patience. None of this happens overnight.
Yeah, for me, I would say pray. Pray about every aspect. And I think that's one thing that people are surprised about is I pray about everything. And it's not every night.
Detail.
Every detail about how much I should pay this person, or what color we should choose, to what size the cutie patch should be, or... I mean, you have to pray about the big things, and that's what most people think about is the big things, but it's the small things. It's the people you hire to pray for Judy. Yeah, just I think if you invite the Lord in every aspect of your business, He's going to, and it's His will for you to have this business and succeed. Then He's gonna take you there. So, but yeah, patience and prayer, and it's not just one time and done. It's prayer constantly and. Coming, and a lot of times, even I'm guilty of this. You know, I might be stressing about something or worried, and then like a few days goes later, and I'm like, why didn't I pray about this? Oh my goodness! Like, duh, Lindsay, you could have had this fixed a few days ago. So yeah, just pray about everything.
Yeah, be in constant communication with God.
Yeah.
Going back to the family, what's one thing that you want most for your girls?
I think empathy for others. I know Ryan recently won an award. I don't know what was
the
some
Lions
of the things?
Pride
Lakeland
Award.
Lions Pride Award. It was just helping others in school and
putting others first.
Yeah, it was everything I wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
her.
I was like so emotional when she won that, just because that's huge, putting others over self. I think for me, it would be the love of Jesus, like loving Jesus, and wanting to be like Jesus, because I feel like if you do that, then everything else will kind of fall in place. And just because I know just what Jesus brings to my life, like I want what I have for them, plus more. I want even more for them, you know. So, but yeah, I think for both Charlie and Ryan, you know, just putting love for others and not being selfish. And
it's pretty cool to see that realized, like in an award like that, to see your parenting and your teaching.
And we had no idea, like she was surprised. Gonna get it. I was just like, cue the tears.
And we really want them to not be spoiled. I mean, they have a lot, and I don't know. We try to harp on that, but
we talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
you know. And I feel like it's new too. Like as parents, like we've never been parents before. So and like Ryan's growing so fast, like how do we handle those obstacles to making sure she's not entitled or spoiled or you know having to work through things and challenges. Parenthood.
For sure. Kind of lastly, what or how do you guys manage? We've talked a little bit about it already. Just there's so many decisions to be made. Growth is happening, and with growth comes more decisions. How do you guys handle and manage being overwhelmed and anxious about the business? Like you said, staying up at night just because there's just things in your mind. How do you guys manage that?
I know her answer. Yeah. give it to the Lord.
Yeah.
But, I've always kind of just been laid back anyway. So
He's made me laid back.
Gotcha.
Like we complement each other so well.
I definitely try not to worry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
my prayer journal, I feel like it's like gold. It's like
that's definitely where you take your worries.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think there's something about too, like when you're writing it down, and people message me all the time. They're like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, you know, you can pray anytime during the day. You don't have to close your eyes. Like you can, it's anytime. But even like in the shower or when you're in the car. But like I think it's called a kinesthetic learner. Like I like to write, the touch.
Do something.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost like getting it off my heart to like write it down.
And it's nice too to go back and look at
oh my
the problems you thought were huge.
That's the cool thing is
they're so small.
Well, it's so funny because like I have a prayer journal from like before when we first got married, and the worries, like it's almost comical. The things I was stressing, I was like, that's like what am I complaining about? Oh my goodness! But even to see like what God's done in the last year, so I always tell people date it. But yeah, my prayer journal, and I think, I don't know. I think just really giving it to the Lord. Like once you learn to do that, like it's freeing.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain if you've never felt that before, but it's just like, why there's no reason for me to worry about it.
Yeah.
Like he's going to take care of it. So yeah, I would, I don't know, just prayer, and I don't know, but I'm guilty too of getting in those, and that's where I feel like we support each other and kind of bring each other back to be like, Lindsay, he's going to take care of it.
Yeah.
Stop. Why are you worrying? And
Yeah,
one
it's
thing
not
I
gonna change
do,
anything.
yeah, but I like, sometimes I'll find verses that relate to whatever maybe I'm worrying about. And in my journal, like write the verses that declare, like, he will provide, he will sustain me, you know, like just to
Do
support
not be
that.
anxious, do not worry.
Yeah. But prayer. I'm sorry, that's my answer for everything.
But I mean, yeah, it sounds cliche, but it's not cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
At the end of the day, it's what we're called to do, and
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
For sure. Awesome. Well, that was just a few of the questions that you guys submitted. Of course, there's many more, and I know you guys probably have even more questions from what we've talked about today. So we will definitely do a part 2 and probably part 3, part 4 later. But Bret, Lindsay, thank you guys so much for sharing that and give us
It's fun.
insight into more of who you guys are and more of what Ryan and Rose is. So, guys, we will see you on the next one.